In Hollywood, it's typical for child stars to achieve an immense amount of fame early on and then burn out as they come of age. But there have been a few occasions where former child stars have not only been able to maintain their fame into adulthood, but have become more famous than ever. Join Facts First as we explore child actors who quit Hollywood and then came back even bigger. Huy Quan. While not many people know this star by name, they'll likely instantly recognize the former child actor when his most famous roles are brought up. During the 1980s, Huy Quan became something of an icon thanks to his appearances in a pair of films produced by Steven Spielberg. In Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, he was cast in the role of Short Round. Short Round is Indiana Jones's little kid's sidekick, and he helps the adventurer out quite a bit. Following the release of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Huy Quan took on another role in a notable Steven Spielberg-helmed picture, The Goonies. As far as the original Indiana Jones trilogy, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is largely considered to be the least beloved of the three. But Huy Quan's performance as Short Round seems to be one of the things that general audience members can agree made the film worth watching. While Steven Spielberg had directed Huy Quan in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, he was only a producer on The Goonies. Still, the film proved even more successful than the Indiana Jones sequel. The Goonies is considered a classic film to this day, and Huy Quan's character of Data is one of the most popular parts. Data loves making gadgets, and some of these gadgets get the film's title characters out of trouble and in some hilarious ways. Huy Quan had a pretty easy time getting work in Hollywood as a cute little kid, but opportunities got fewer and further between as he came of age. Over the course of the 90s, he transitioned from acting in front of the cameras to working behind the scenes. He became a martial arts choreographer, and one of the more notable films he worked on was 2000's X-Men, directed by Bryan Singer. The film helped legitimize the concept of the comic book movie and paved the way for the surplus of such films we see today. Recently, Huy Quan returned to the big screen via the independent feature film Everything Everywhere All at Once. The role was fairly meaty and even gave Huy Quan a chance to flex his martial arts skills. According to Huy Quan, the thing that inspired him to try to give acting another go was seeing the movie Crazy Rich Asians. He feels like the film's success has signified the start of a new Asian renaissance in Hollywood, and he wants to be involved. Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman represents a case of a former child star who has found so much success as an adult that many people don't remember he was a childhood star. He made a name for himself in the 80s by appearing in notable sitcoms like It's Your Movie, Valerie, and Silver Spoons. He made an attempt to transition into big-screen Hollywood fame with his appearance in 1987's Teen Wolf 2. The first Teen Wolf movie had been a big hit for Michael J. Fox and helped him transition from TV work to film work. Jason Bateman hoped his role in Teen Wolf 2 would have the same effect, but it didn't. After appearing in it, not much was seen from Jason Bateman until well over a decade later. In 2003, the now adult actor received a starring role on Arrested Development. The show was a major hit with critics, though it had a hard time clicking with audiences during its initial run. Still, it brought attention back Jason's way, and he was incredibly grateful. Though Arrested Development didn't initially fare all that well in the ratings, the show became a cult classic and sold a lot of copies on DVD. Not only was the show revived several years later, Jason was also able to use the fame he garnered from the series to finally become a film star. Jason has appeared in hit movies like Horrible Bosses and Identity Thief. Recently, he's made an acclaimed return to TV via his performance on the Netflix series Ozark. Before we tell you about more child stars who came back even bigger, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Drew Barrymore. Most people know the sad tale of Drew Barrymore, but it merits inclusion on this list. Barrymore was a child actress who achieved unprecedented Hollywood fame via performances in films like E.T. and Babes in Toyland. Tragically, Drew's introduction into the world of entertainment at such a young age resulted in her becoming a drug addict in her single digits. In many ways, Drew's story stands as a cautionary tale for parents looking to get their children into the entertainment industry. But Drew was miraculously able to turn her troubled youth around after she came of age. In the mid-90s, Barrymore made small yet iconic appearances in films such as Batman Forever and Scream. These small appearances helped Drew become familiar to audiences as an adult. Bigger roles followed, including Drew's turn in the romantic comedy Never Been Kissed. By the 2000s, audiences had forgotten about Drew Barrymore, the former child star, and were head over heels in love with Drew Barrymore, the full-blown movie star. It's a miracle Drew overcame her childhood struggles in the industry, and she's still doing very well for herself today. She's also ventured into producing and directing. She produced the cult classic Donnie Darko, which she also appeared in. She also tried her hand at direction with the Ellen Page starring Whip It, which was about roller derbies. Mayim Bialik. Nostalgic TV audiences will always likely think of Mayim Bialik first and foremost as the character Blossom on the hit show Blossom. But younger audience members know her best thanks to her role on the popular series The Big Bang Theory. Mayim got her big break in Blossom as a kid playing Blossom. Once the show ended, she took a break from the entertainment industry and got a PhD in neuroscience. But she couldn't shake the show business bug and returned to television after graduating. Upon her return, her PhD ended up paying off in an odd way. She was cast in the show The Big Bang Theory as a love interest for the character of Sheldon. Her character was meant to be incredibly well-educated, much like Mayim herself. After being introduced to the series, the romance between Mayim's character and Sheldon became a fan-favorite aspect. Macaulay Culkin. Thanks to his classic performances in the John Hughes features Home Alone and Uncle Buck, Macaulay Culkin can be considered one of the most iconic child stars of all time. As an adult, Macaulay initially had a hard time finding continued acting success, but he's made somewhat of a comeback recently thanks to his turn in The Righteous Gemstones. Macaulay also appeared in the cult classic film Party Monster in 2003, and the bizarre film certainly helped put an end to the audience's innocent perception of the star. Haley Joel Osment. Haley Joel Osment was the child star who was able to see dead people in M. Night Shyamalan's classic 1999 thriller The Sixth Sense. The hit film turned Haley into one of the most notable child stars of his generation, but the actor seemingly dropped off the planet shortly afterwards. It seems that his break from the spotlight came as a result of pursuing his higher education. During this time, he also worked on honing his craft on stage. Now Haley is back on screen yet again. He's appeared in movies like Yoga Hosers and Tusk, though his most notable recent work was on the series Silicon Valley. Now it's time to hear from you. Which one of these stars is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. By the way, if you haven't joined Facts First as a member yet, be sure to look below this video and click the join button. By becoming a paid member of Facts First, you'll get access to exclusive video content that you won't find anywhere else. This includes some of our more mature content that isn't suitable for public audiences, which includes topics like Hollywood actresses who posed for Playboy and some of the steamiest moments in movie history. Plus, you can enjoy these videos completely ad-free. Our biggest fans will notice they also get badges next to their name when they leave comments on our videos. We pay special attention to comments from our members, and so do other viewers. So if you want exclusive content from Facts First or inside access to discussions with other community members, click the join button to get started for just $4.99. There are hours of members-only videos waiting for you, with new videos added every month. And we're actively working on bringing even more features to help fans like you connect with other members and get more of your favorite content. Just click join, and we'll see you inside the membership tab.